Hi guys. I-discuss ko ngayon kung ano yung instructions about the creation of your activity D. So, for your activity D, so you'll see here that this activity is a group activity. Therefore, only one file will be passed for the whole group. Okay? So, the file name should be like this. Okay, and then make sure that the names of your group members appears on the command prompt. Okay, um so what is activity D? Okay, activity D is you have to create a program and an IPO chart wherein you're going to give an application of these four. Okay, um I ibig sabihin dapat itong apat na 'to, yung application nila mag-a-appear sa isang program. That's why it's a group activity, no? So, Pythagorean theorem, for example. Okay? So, let's say, isn't it Pythagorean theorem is being used for right triangles, right? Okay. So, let's say here is our right triangle. And then, so if it's a right triangle, therefore there's the 90-degree angle. Right. Example. Okay. Let's say we have a balloon here. Okay. Or yeah, balloon. Or let's make it a kite instead, maybe. Kite. All right. So you have your kite. Right. Uh-huh. Okay. And then let's say that this is the string of the kite from here up to here. Okay, so that's the string. So let's paint it red, right? And then let's say um, here is where the person is holding the string, right? Okay. Okay. Now, let's say you are given or you could ask the user to give the length of the string. Let's say, like, yes, it's user defined. Okay, so let's say it's 5 meters, all right? So therefore, by the way, you could also make use of the trigo functions, no? For example, you want also the user to define this angle. Okay, angle theta. Right? So, the user can actually play with the angle, no? So, let's say it's 50 degrees here. Now, okay, given these two, you could actually solve for this value, let's say x, and then y. Okay, so when you, let's say you have solved the value of x using the trigo function sine, cosine, and tangent, therefore you could also get the value of y using the Pythagorean theorem. So that's the application. Okay, so how are you going to incorporate it to your program? Example, on the command prompt, you will, of course, you have the introduction. Okay, so let's say this program calculates the or let's say a kite with string attached to it is flying, no? In the air. Okay. Um, give a value for the string length. Okay. So let's have the variable L. And the angle it makes with the x-axis, all right? Say negative x-axis, okay? Negative x-axis, all right? And let's have theta, all right? Okay. And this program will solve for the value of the following. Okay, let's say you want to give distance from the man to the horizontal. It's horizontal distance. Horizontal distance from the man to the kite, all right? X. And the vertical distance of the kite to the man. Let's have y. Okay. And then after that, you will ask the user to enter the values. Okay. Enter the values of the following. All right. So, okay. So let's say the user will enter the length of string. Of course, you need to give information, okay? So that the user will know what they're about to give. Next is the angle it makes from negative x-axis. See, okay. There. Okay. After that, okay, once they have entered this parameter, so you'll provide them the answers. All right. So the horizontal distance or the base, okay, x is equal to, and the vertical distance y is equal to, yeah, there you have it. So that's the application of Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so how about sine law and cosine law? Okay, all right. So let's say you have a common point. So this one, okay, you have this point, all right. And then let's say you have a port here, right? Okay, and then there are two boats leaving at the same time. Okay, so let's say the first boat is going to this direction, okay, and the second boat is going to this direction. Okay, so therefore we have an angle here, just the direction. And also we have an angle here, right? So let's say they are user defined, okay? So let's have this as alpha, okay? Um, let's say the user entered like 40, 50 degrees maybe, okay? And then for this one, beta, okay? Let's say it's 65 degrees, all right? Okay. Now, actually, for these two boats, we have velocity, right? So V1, okay. Let's say it's a 5 meters per second. Okay. And then this one is V2. Let's say 8 meters per second. Okay. So, there. Okay. So, at a specific time, okay, of course, that's user defined as well. Let's say 5 seconds, all right? Okay, and then here of course we have the same time, 5 seconds. Okay, so given that, you can solve for the distance it traveled, okay, from point 1 to point 2. Okay, so let's name that as d1. Okay, and d1 is equivalent to v1 multiplied by time. Okay, same with d2. Okay, d2 is equal to v2 times time, right? Okay, now we can actually get a distance from these 2 points. Okay, and that distance can be solved using sine law or cosine law. Let's name it as displacement, capital letter D, right, for the displacement. Okay, yeah, so that's the application of sine law or cosine law. Okay, so how are we going to put it in the command prompt? Okay, so let's say you're going to tell a story, right? So in telling a story, you might say two boats, okay, living from the same point, but different directions. Boat one has a velocity of v1, okay, and then it's user defined, at an angle, right? So let's say at that angle is alpha equal to user defined, right? And boat 2 has a velocity of v2, okay, it's user defined, at an angle of beta, that's user defined as well. Let's say that's 65 degrees from the negative x-axis, but actually the angle would be 180 minus 65, right? So that's 180 minus beta. So that's your direction. All right, next. At a specific time t, right? Um, we can solve for the this distance na lang, no? Distance from point A to point B. Who are these points? The final position of the two boats. There you have it. And then just let the user give the variables. Okay, so let's have v1, okay, v2, alpha, and beta. Then just give the answer. That's it. Bye.